Hello YouTubers, welcome to Real Scent TV, and today we're going to be talking about Agarwood. Agarwood is one of my favourite subjects actually, but it's a resin that's formed inside a tree called the Agarwood tree, which grows in Southeast Asia, mainly in Southeast Asia. There are a few other species or subspecies, about 8 or 9. We won't go too much into that, but I wanted to give you guys a brief introduction into it and explain to you why it's so expensive and what it's used for. Well, it's been around for centuries in various cultures and religions. The Chinese use it for medicinal purposes and even in part of their religion as well. Buddhists use it for meditation. Even in Hinduism, it's also in there. We've got information and through their religious books and texts that talks about Agarwood. But anyway, we'll go straight into what it's used for in terms of modern day. Modern day, it's used actually for predominantly for perfumes. One of the most expensive ingredients for perfumes, hence why there's a lot of people out there who are kind of doing all sorts of dodgy stuff with it, because it's a finite ingredient. There's only so much and there's only so many trees, and this is why we're coming to the next topic, which is why is it so expensive. Because like I said, there's only a few trees that actually produce the resin itself. It takes 2 to 5 years for the tree to have some sort of resin inside it, but longer it's inside the tree, the more valuable it is. But yeah, this is basically the tree's defense mechanism, which produces this beautiful resin, and that in itself takes time. It can take a good few years before you get a decent amount of resin inside it. So if you're a farmer and you're farming Agarwood, you're looking 2 to 5 years maximum before you, minimum before you actually make any money. So that's one of the reasons why it's so expensive, because it's for it to be produced by nature, and for people who are invested in it, it takes a long time for them to get their money back. But anyway, the other process of it as well is extracting the actual Agarwood from the tree. That in itself takes hours and days and weeks in some cases, depending on even months. It took me a whole month when I invested some in Agarwood back in 2012. But yeah, this is one of the reasons why it's so expensive, because the carving out process takes ages, because it's sometimes it's really deeply embedded inside the actual heart of the tree. So that process takes a long time, a lot of man hours, and a lot of chiseling, and all sorts of stuff like that. This is the main reason why it's so expensive, because it's a natural process for it to be produced, and at the same time, hell of a lot of work and effort goes into it. So it's used in perfumes, in high-end perfumes predominantly, and even the high-end perfumes. Some of the high-end perfumes are used as the synthetics ones, which is really, it's clearly a rip-off. But there we go. There's just not enough amount of this stuff for it to be used as ingredient for perfumes, and it's admittedly, not everyone will like it, I have to say. I have to be clear on that. I kind of find it a bit like, Marmite. I don't know if you guys know what Marmite is, but in England it's a spread for breakfast or whatever, or you have it on toast. But basically, either you love it or you hate it. And for me, I absolutely adore it. I love it. I think it's the most amazing ingredient. And when you add it to, put it as introduce it as an ingredient for perfumes, it'll blow you away. An amazing product on its own, but when you add it to perfumes, it gives it longevity, it gives it more depth and more ingredients, more of the flagrant smells and stuff like that really come out when you use agarwood or oud, so to speak. But yeah, so you know, unfortunately, there's a lot of charlatans out there, you know, conning people and not using the, you know, mixing and using all sorts of other stuff, and it's just kind of tarnished the name of agarwood. So I thought I'd make a video and give you guys a better understanding of it, and I don't want to bore you too much of it neither as well. So, you know, I've got some clips of me burning some of the wood so you could have a look. This is an Indonesian agarwood chip that I was burning earlier on in the day. I just thought I'd give you guys a little peek at what it actually looks like when it's been burning. As you can see, it's all the resin inside the wood is all bubbling up, and it's just bringing out this amazing smell, which just blossoms into so many different notes and layers upon smells. It's just absolutely beautiful. And sometimes it could be so resinous that it can get stuck onto the charcoal, hot charcoal that's on there, because it's just full of oil, and it's just amazing scent. See for yourself how the resin comes out and when it's burnt, and you know, the fragrance. So if only modern technology had a button you can press where you can actually smell it, because you really will truly be amazed by the smell of it from this natural beautiful ingredient. Hence why it's one of my favourite ingredient for perfumes, and you know, in a lot of cases I wear it on my own, on its own. You know, like I said, I've been introduced this since 2012, and I've basically through time just fallen in love with this stuff. I absolutely love it, and I burn it on a regular basis. And so yeah, I thought I'd share my love with you, the YouTubers out there who are hopefully watching, and like to give a big shout out to Luxury Drop, who really helped me produce this video, and gave me a bunch of samples of oud. We've got Hindi wood, we've got Sri Lankan wood, and then we've got Sri Lankan sink wood, and then my personal collection here we've got Indonesian. This is here, in this pot here is a lot of Indonesian stuff that I've dealt with in the past. But yeah, hope you guys liked the video, hope it informed you and made you more aware of oud itself and why it's expensive.